All right. Playing black. We're playing Disintegrator. To get the game going. Everything is good. Mic check, mic check. King pawn, which is nice. E45, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6. This is the 4 knights. a3. It's the Gunsberg variation. I remember this. This is interesting. Knight d4 is really, really messy. I think we played knight d4 or d5. There are a lot of things you can do. d5 is actually a little risky, though, from what I remember. There's something slightly incorrect about d5 against the Gunsberg. Yeah, if they take, we play d5, and mayhem is guaranteed. Mayhem isn't recommended. It's guaranteed. It's legitimately time to go. We got to get moving. It's another video. I got this cold cup of coffee here. Gotta finish it, honestly. I've been going to sleep extremely late. I've been going to sleep at like 4 a.m. every day. I no longer have a day job, though. I just have boss man hovering over me, pushing me to finish this project. I don't know how much more I have of this course. I have like a good 300 to 400 hours, I think. I don't know exactly. Bishop c4. I'm thinking that this would be like a bird's defense. Like, of course we could take here. Actually, let's play bishop c5 here. If he wants, he can win this pawn. I'm gonna castle. All right, man. What's it gonna be? You want to take the pawn or what? We gonna have ourselves a game or what? Who is this guy, Disintegrator? Another gentleman with no name on his profile. I've got massive allergies here. Massive allergies. Yeah, it's spring allergies here in Argentina. Your boy is sneezing it up. Should I play h6 here? Yeah, let's play h6. Yeah, these allergies are killing me. All right, bishop h4. C6 still looks good because knight takes, we have d5, takes, and rook e8. That's like a classic idea. All right, yeah, we'll do that. I like c6 a lot. It also dominates the knight. Very interesting stuff. From what I remember, I studied these positions a lot when doing bird's defense and also when doing, I think I already did this chapter. I'm not disclosing my recommendation, but pretty much, yeah, from what I remember, you could just leave this pawn hanging in positions that look like this for a very long time, because if they ever take, you have d5 and rook e8. All right. Bro, you know what? We're going to force the issue. If bro wants to take, he better take now. Because otherwise I'm playing bishop g4, and he's going to be in a lot more trouble. Bro better make up his mind, man. We're all waiting. We already know what we want to order. We've been waiting at the table for like 20 minutes for bro to pick something from the menu. Bro's got to hurry up. It's time to go. All right, what is this? If we play queen b6 attacks b2. It also attacks f2, but no, f2 isn't much of a problem. He always has f2 defended. We play queen b6. Like knight a4 would be a problem there. Bishop e6, knight takes e5, takes. This is weird. Maybe should I just play... Yeah, we're going to just play g5 now. It's about to get really messy. He should play bishop g3. If he takes, I think I have knight e6. That's another mess. Yeah, this position is really bizarre. He could play bishop g3. From what I remember, this looks like birds. Like takes g4, and we're almost trapping the queen, but he plays queen e2 there. We don't have anything. Yeah, I'm under some pressure here. We could play rook e8, though. The fact that there's no pin here any longer makes a big difference. I never have to worry about this d5 pawn. We're just waiting for him to make a decision. If he castles, I am going to take... Yeah, if castles, then I can take and play g4 and then break through here without any issues, without any repercussions happening along the h-file. I gotta push myself to finish this coffee, man. Last night, I took a bunch of sips of a coffee, but then I still had a few... I had left a bit in it, and I had to finish it at like 10 p.m. So it wasn't good. Birdmaster's sleep cycle is really at the bottom of the barrel lately. I mean, we're just waiting here, pal. Queen d2. What a weird move. Okay, well, we could take, of course. I guess his idea is that he's going to castle queenside. Takes, takes. And then b5. That looks good. He's going to play h4, though. Yeah, okay, wait. So look at this. We could take, 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 and then take. That wouldn't be a problem. I could also play knight h5 here. Because, yeah, the queen no longer x-rays this. Knight h5 takes. I'm not losing a knight here. Yeah, this is bizarre. We could take and then play d4, knight e2, and bishop e6. I'm always worried about h4, though. I think if I'm going to take here, I need to make sure that I'm opening up the board and trading these queens off. Takes, 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 takes. We play knight h5 there. I think I'm better. I think I'm better. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is weird stuff. This is definitely mayhem on the chessboard. I'm gonna go for that. I think I need to be a bit careful here because he's gonna castle queenside. Well, wait, what about actually what am I talking about? What if I just leave this here? If I don't take, I don't open up the G file. What if I play B5, he castles and I play B4? That looks good. Knight A4, we play Knight A4 is another mess, honestly. Knight A4, we play Bishop F8 or something. That's another wild position. B5, what is the plan going to be there? If he plays H4, yeah, this is weird. I think I'm going to go for the ending. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to go over in analysis. This is definitely what the analysis is made for. I think I need to be a bit careful about his attack here. He also has these ideas of knight takes G5. So it's best just to immediately open the center for some type of simplification. Also, his bishop is just locked out here pretty much. Once I get these doubled pawns, even late in an endgame, I'm going to have nice chances in conjunction with building a brick wall against this bishop here. So it's definitely going to be time to go. What? No, there is no way that works, buddy. Like off the top of my head, e3 looks good because takes I have knight f5. There's just no way that works. Like, okay, yeah, e3 takes, we play knight f5. If he takes with the bishop, I go king g7. If he takes here, I take with the queen. That looks fantastic. That looks extremely good. Let's look at this, though. e3 takes, knight f5. I just remember this from a lot of these Italian positions. e3 takes, he takes on f7. I play queen b6. He takes on h6. That position looks completely winning. I'm going to go for that. Very, very weird chess ahead, but it doesn't look bad. There's just too much convening against this position here. Yeah, he really doesn't have a choice here. If he takes with the queen, I take on c2. So here, and yeah, this is my idea. If he wants, he can take this way. I'll play queen b6, and yeah. Mayhem is about to unfold. This is wild. Look at this. Takes here, knight a4. What is that? Knight a4, I could take on e3. He takes. I take, and then I take this. No, then I'm actually worse here. Well, no, that has to be a mistake. There's no way he's going to maintain this now. If he takes here, I think I could even take this. That looks the best. Yeah, there's just so many hanging pieces there. Takes, another thing I could do is I could take this. Yeah, that actually looks best. Look at that. Takes, queen e2, queen e8. He plays bishop h2. I play knight d4, queen d1. And then I have a bunch of moves there, something like g4. Yeah, let's start with that. Let's do that first. Let's take here. Slicing through everything, guaranteeing that his king stays locked in the center. If he plays queen e2, I even have knight d4 first. Yeah, got a lot of ideas here. I like the compensation after queen takes e8 more, though. Queen takes e8, bishop h2. Yeah, dude, this is a disaster for him. This is not the position you want to have to play. Yeah, this is getting so risky for him. Okay, I could take here. Takes, 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 takes. He's actually surviving. Let's play knight d4. Look at this. Hitting the queen. Queen has to go back to d1. Really sad move to have to make. Yeah, that is an unbelievably sad move to have to make. Like, what do we need to do here to win? I think bishop f4 already would win on the spot because it's just segmenting these pieces. Bishop f4. He could take with the rook. No, if he takes with the rook, I take here. Rook e4, I have takes. Knight e4, I could take, yeah. Bishop f4, takes. Yeah, I'm just winning there. Let's go for that. The pin to win, as they say. I mean, we're just waiting here, pal. It's time to go. There, yeah, we take. Dude, this is, yeah, this is looking disastrous for him. I would expect a resignation soon, because he's about to be down 2 pieces to a rook, and his king still has little hope of getting out alive. Like, knight e2, queen takes, he's still nowhere close to developing. What is bro doing, man? We gotta go. We got the classic 4 knights bingo here. This is something that you're going to see a lot of in my course. Really, really cool stuff happens during the 4 knights bingo. We got to get moving. It's legitimately time for me to go. I've got to go. And by got to go, I mean Bossman's been complaining to me for the last half hour about me getting back to this bird course. At the moment I have... Yeah, at the moment I have 4 chapters in Bird's Defense left to do. I've already done one of them, so I've done 1 of 5. And then I also have to do 1 other chapter. No, come on, man. This is over. This has to be completely over. What is the win here? I like bishop h3 because takes we have f3. No, that's so unnecessarily risky. Let's play f3 here. Sneak the queen into h2. Yeah, this is looking good. Bro plays queen e3. I just take and I play knight c2. There. Sneaking in. Rook e7. Okay. Rook e7, I have king g6. That's not an issue yet. We could play knight g4, takes, check. King f1? No, I don't have anything there. Why don't I just take on h3? Yeah, this looks like it's over. Looks like it's completely over. Knight g4. Knight g4 just ends the game.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay. Yeah, there should be like 100 wins here. Knight g4, king f1. Knight g4, king f1 takes. Looks completely over. There are a bunch of moves that look completely over. Yeah, knight g4 looks best. Bro could definitely resign now. Like king f1, I just take here. King, yeah, this is just over. King e1, I'm gonna mate. I guess he could take this way, but no, then this is mate. It's completely over. Okay, so this is interesting. Apparently I played a really good game up until a point. I gave him a bit of an advantage at one point, but then the game quickly turned back in my favor. All right, so we got this. We got all this. Knight d4 is interesting. I don't think it's that bad. I'm not going to disclose yet whether or not this is going to be my recommendation. It's an interesting move, though. It's definitely not that bad. I don't respect what the chess.com computer is saying. Frankly, I never agree with the chess.com computer, as a lot of you guys know. So knight d4, bishop c4, bishop c5. Castles, apparently this is slightly inaccurate. Maybe c6 is better. Yeah, this turns into positions that I analyze in Bird's Defense. And the whole idea here is that if they take, often they get into trouble. Like you play d5 and okay, for the moment it's still equal, but if they take here, from what I remember, this can go really quickly bad for them. Like after bishop d6, there's some other position where you can play bishop d6 and you're winning. I think maybe it's in a position where you haven't developed the bishop yet and it's coming from f8. But like even here, for instance, like castles, c takes d5, bishop a2, you have a lot of compensation here. You're down a pawn, but your compensation lies in the fact that their knight is not going to have an easy time retreating. If they ever go to f3, you have bishop g4, and already you're winning. These positions are very, very tricky to handle for white. I think on a practical level, like the 0.0 does not apply at all. It's extremely tricky for white to handle this. Like at the moment, computer is saying it's 0.02. They could also keep 0.03 if they play b4 and then bishop f4, but if they do pretty much anything else, they're going to really quickly get into trouble. Like if rook e1, For rook e1, we have bishop g4. This is really cool. Look at this. Takes, we just take, knight takes. And there are too many threats here. Knight takes c2 is a big issue. Queen h4 is a big issue. We also have the bishop x-raying f2. Too many tactical threats here. These positions are very, very interesting. Like, even if I wasn't making my Bird's Defense course, I would still probably be playing them on this channel. These are really, really cool positions. And yeah, pretty much in all these positions, if they take on e5, okay, I guess apparently in this position they can take on e5. It's always very hard for them to handle this, though. Like, even here, I was just going to play d5, and I thought that this was just going to be a mess. Like, if he takes here, we play rook e8, and already we're winning. Apparently, he's better here. Apparently, he's better if he... What does he do instead? He takes, and yeah, he still can't take this way because of rook e8. But apparently he could take with the bishop. Yeah, maybe I wasn't going to do this. Actually, I was going to play c6 here and play for d5 this way. Computer is pointing out, though, that actually in this rare example, in this rare position, he can cash out and get he can get a rook and 2 pawns for 2 pieces. Even in this position, though, I remember I was looking at positions like this in Bird's Defense, and this is not so cut and dried. If he castles here, black is already at least equal. Yeah, I remember this, but pretty much, yeah, he's going to play bishop e3, queen d2, castle queenside, and the measure of this imbalance, the measure of having 2 pawns and a rook against 2 minor pieces, is looking at how mobile the pawns are and how effectively stabilized and how effectively secured the minor pieces are in resisting the pawn's advance. In this case, these pawns are going to advance very quickly at some point, and they're going to start really destabilizing our position here. That's why white is a little better. Even in this position, though, black has plenty of chances. All right, so bro played bishop g5. I kicked him out. h6, played c6, bishop a2. Yeah, bishop a2 is a good move. If he takes here, this can quickly get him into trouble. Like d5 takes, rook e8. Already he's in enormous trouble here. If f4, we have knight f5, hitting this, hitting this. Way too much pressure here at the moment. I think already, like, what is the idea? If bishop f2, what are we going to do? Just take, and then what, queen b6? Yeah, look at this. Queen b6 shooting through here, shooting through here. Man plays d4, we can even take here. Something like queen d2, and we could just take here. We got the fork at the end of the day. Way too much for white to handle. So bro played bishop a2. This is a very good move because d5 is definitely coming on the horizon. I play d5 anyway. Computer's saying d6 is better, but come on, man. We're playing for the love of the game. We're not playing for negative 0.32. Am I right? So d5, threatening bishop g4 ideas. Bro plays h3. I play g5, bishop g3. All of this is good. Rook e8, queen d2. And yeah, here I wasn't sure what to do. Okay, I actually played the best move. I was thinking about b5 here, but I didn't like h4. There's just too much pressure here. My king side is coming undone. If I play g4, he could either take. I honestly, I was worried a little bit about queen takes h6, but I guess after takes, yeah, he doesn't actually have a way to attack that quickly. Like, he could take and try to open this up, but I'm going to be able to take with my knight, and if he plays king e2, I can play bishop g4. He's actually nowhere close to attacking on this g-file. So this would be fine for me. Yeah, so wait, so in this position, b5, h4, g4, he's just going to trade here, though. This is the problem. Takes. He plays something like knight e2. It seems like the center's imploding, but he's just going to castle here. And all of a sudden, all the different imbalances in this position are beginning to favor him. Like, his bishop has been waiting on this diagonal for a while. He's losing the e4 pawn, but if I ever take here, this bishop becomes a complete monster. This is definitely going to be losing. He already takes here. He's immediately threatening a check to use this pin. This is completely over. I guess I would have to defend it with bishop f5. He could throw in a check, though. He's winning the bishop. I can't do this because of this. So I took here. I correctly realized that, yeah, he's going to be playing h4 soon. I need to try to cash out. So I took, and here he made a really big mistake. He took this way. He should have just taken here. I thought that this ending was going to be good for me because his bishop is locked out. And indeed, I'm a little correct. Yeah, his bishop is a bit locked out here. If we could get to some position like this would be okay, but I didn't like that he was going to play h4 and start to create weaknesses. I want to be able to play f6 and build a solid pawn chain as soon as possible, just to restrict this bishop and make sure that his pieces have no targets. Yeah, no, so in this position, what was I going to do? I was going to play knight h5, and this is actually the computer's best move. I'm attacking the bishop. I'm preparing for f6. If he plays h4, at this point now, with this pin shooting through here, I don't have time to play f6, so I'm just going to have to cash out and collect the bishop pair. I should be a little better here, though. I was going to play something like king g7 in this position. Apparently now this is equal, though. He takes and he plays rook h5. He's going to get good pressure against g5. I could play f6 if I want, but then, yeah, this is going to get way worse. Rook h7, king g6, bishop f7. That's even checkmate. This ain't good. Yeah, so wait, back in this position, what should I do? I need to keep the h-file closed. I have to do something like check, king e1, and then g4. Computer likes king e1 a bit more, I guess, because it doesn't allow, it doesn't lead to this position coming with a check. I don't really know, honestly. Like, yeah, king e2, g4, and yeah, in this position, I've kept the files closed. My bishops are definitely going to be good. One bishop is already excellent. This is the bishop that he can never oppose. This bishop doesn't have much to do at the moment, but over the long term, eventually the square is probably going to get cleared. Like, I have a very simple idea. I could play h5, takes, and then finally install the bishop on g4 here. So yeah, black definitely is a bit better with this bishop pair. Notice also, white has one good piece here, but this knight is completely dominated by this pawn at the moment. The pawn is really inhibiting the knight's movement and the knight's activity. All right, so bro took here. I felt that that was a mistake. I played e3. Apparently this is also a mistake. What should I do here? Just bishop e6. Interesting. And what is the idea here? Takes, rook takes. There's clearly a lot of pressure here, but I'm looking for like the actual meat and potatoes of this. Why is this so bad? Castles, oh, well, now I play knight f5. All right, look at this. We're attacking the bishop, and if he plays bishop h2, we play e3. That's why knight f5 is such a strong move. It's always hitting these two squares. Takes, bishop takes is completely over. He's going to have to move the queen out of the way, but this also is pretty hopeless. This pawn is unbelievably strong. Computer's saying that bishop d4 is even slightly better here, but it doesn't really matter here. Takes is fantastic. We have good play on e3. The pin is opened up. We're going to have good pressure on the knight. He has no feasible plan to really undermine this pawn in time. Like, he could try knight e4. We'll play bishop d4. We're attacking the knight. We're also attacking here. If something like knight f3, I play queen b6. Yeah, this is just a disaster. Like, a classic example is something like this. Like, takes, I could even take here. If he takes this way, I can take, and now I have this x-ray to win the queen. So that's cool. Anyway, yeah, I made a big mistake. I played e3 here. Whole idea is that queen takes, I have knight takes c2. Yeah, apparently this just blunders everything, though. What is the idea here? Knight takes f7, I saw this position, but I thought I had queen b6 here, and I looked at this. I saw this position, and I thought I was winning. I saw this exact position here. My whole rationale was that his pawn is hanging here. If he plays something like bishop f2, I could just take, and this should be winning. Apparently even here, after rook takes e3, he just plays king d1, though. Yeah, I'm down so many pawns in this position. I'm down 2 pawns, and he has knight a4 waiting in the wings. And knight a4 is going to at least trade off one of my important bishops. Wow. And yeah, the other idea is that like he just cannot castle anywhere because bishop takes a3 is going to win his queen. It's going to be shooting at his king one way or another. Yeah, but apparently here he just plays knight a4, and I sort of saw this position right as he was choosing his move, and I was starting to feel a little bit iffy about this, but I thought I would have something here, but apparently I don't. Just here it takes. Yeah, okay, I'm just down 2 pawns, and he has the bishop pair. This is completely losing. All right. So I guess I lucked out here, guys. I guess Birdmaster got a bit lucky. So bro took. I played king g7, and yeah, now the game is just over here. Apparently, I made another mistake, though. Apparently, I should just take this way. I saw this, but I loved how this comes with a flourish. Queen e2. Apparently, I'm not supposed to, no, so knight d4, queen f1. Oh, okay, well, this makes sense. This actually makes perfect sense, guys, right? Queen f1, he wants to castle this way. If we take here now, it's not even that he can necessarily castle this way, but he wants to at least put his king here to just get out of the danger. This is a really interesting position. On the one hand, it looks like white's just up an exchange. I still think on a practical level, though, black has plenty of compensation. Computer's just saying that this is losing. It's very tricky, though. Like, both of these rooks, the king is a little misplaced, and both of these rooks are very disconnected here. I think if white is winning, he's going to need to play very precisely over the next 5 moves. And it's just due to concrete circumstances. Due to concrete circumstances, contrary to what it looks like, black just does not have any immediate counterplay here. I don't have much to do. I can't, like, if I could just get this bishop over to h5, for instance, it would be the end of the game, but I can't do it. If I try to swivel, he just chops. Yeah. All right. So fortunately for me, I just took here. Um, Bro played rook f1. This is a mistake. Apparently, if he plays king d1, the game is just equal here. King d1 is a really hard to find move, though. Takes, takes, takes. He plays king d2. He's hunting down the knight. Yeah, this is equal. This is definitely equal. I would play something... Oh, well, I can't play bishop f5 because I'm actually down a pawn here. If I lose the knight, I'm going to be down a pawn. So I have to play knight f2, get my knight out of the way. He can't take here because his knight would be hanging. He's going to play rook f1, and then I get a pawn back for my trouble. He takes back. Oh, and I can grab a second pawn. Interesting. Yeah, this is mind-blowing, honestly. I'm taking a pawn. He plays rook f3. I move my bishop back to e6. I'm up a pawn, but now it's my king, which is a little weaker. Notice my king has a lot of sort of vulnerable squares around it that his pieces are already sort of eyeing. And yeah, actually, his king is much safer now. If I can ever trade queens, this endgame advantage of two connected pawns supported by a bishop is going to be completely winning. But that's easier said than done. It's not going to be easy to force the queens off the board. Computer says this position is just equal, which is really interesting. Anyway, bro made a mistake. Bro played rook f1. I happily invaded with the knight in the center. This is a really classic idea. You get the bishop shooting through here, and you play knight d4 to force their queen back. They cannot take because of the fork. So bro plays queen d1. Apparently, what was bro supposed to do? Bro's supposed to just sack the queen at this point. Takes here, takes, takes. Black has to be much better, though. We have a queen for what? We have a queen for knight and rook. So on just a pure material basis, I'm only up a point. But his king is already a little weak, and there are already starting to be some targets in his position. I wouldn't be surprised if on higher depths, the computer said that this position is winning. Because the queen is just extremely strong here. We should just play bishop e6, rook d8, probably trade off some pieces, and slowly try to really weaken the board and especially undermine this king's defenses. He's going to have to put his king on d2, and yeah, we're going to have to slowly, like knight h5, bishop h2, let's push the bishop back, queen e7. And we really want to just destabilize white's pieces. A good idea here would be rook f8 and knight f4 to block the bishop and begin to call into question whether this knight is actually good or just vulnerable. So bro played queen d1. I played bishop f4. Yeah, after queen d1, this game is just over. Bishop f4, disconnecting these pieces. Did I have a better move? No, bishop f4. Apparently bishop f4 is the only move as well. Nice. Yeah, that's so interesting. I was playing this position as though I was winning no matter what, but actually, yeah, we need to be a bit careful here. He's going to play knight e2, c3, queen c2, and then slowly get his pieces out. And at the end of the day, he's up a pawn and he's up in exchange. So I played bishop f4, takes, takes, queen d2. I got the piece. Bro played king f2. He should try king d1, but this position is pretty losing anyway. I could play f3. If he takes, I take here. I'm just crashing through. I'm already getting some material back. Something like check, my king hides here. It's not that his king is so weak, but it's more that his king is blocking the rook in. He has to be completely lost here. At the moment, material is technically equal. I have two minor pieces. I have a knight and bishop for his rook and pawn, but the issue is that he's playing down a rook here. It's going to take him a good 3 or 4 moves. b3, king c1, king b2, before he can finally include the rook in the game. And in the interim, I'm going to be able to take here. I'll be able to start attacking his king. I could even just start pushing this pawn up the board. Black is completely winning here. What happened in the game, though, was even worse. Now his king is going to be very weak here as well. I played f3. Apparently I could just take here. Yeah, that's completely winning. I completely missed that. Yeah, he cannot take here because of queen e3. But he doesn't have much else to go for. If he plays rook c1, I could just implant the knight on e3, and this is also over. Knight is fantastic on e3. At the moment now, I've gotten... What do I have? I have a knight and bishop for a rook because I got a pawn. And yeah, my pieces are just going to go to work. I'm just going to develop, play bishop d7, king h7, put the rook on g8 to begin attacking this pawn, and if I really want to get frisky, I could install this knight over on the g3 square. Black is completely winning here. Like, by the way, guys, a good rule of thumb in these positions, by the way, is just in general, if your pieces are doing very well, if you have two pieces for a rook and your pieces are doing well, you have to be completely winning. Especially if you combine that with the fact that their rook is not doing much. For instance, here neither of these rooks is doing anything. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we could take the rook whenever we want, but assuming that they defend it, yeah, just neither of these rooks really has any prospects. the game has to just be over here. So I played f3, opening things up. Bro played rook e1, snuck my queen into h2. Bro played rook g1, I took. Yeah, with knight g4 coming, the game is completely over. Check here, knight e4. He really doesn't have anything else. The computer's already saying that he should just voluntarily sacrifice the exchange to avoid knight g4. Here I should play knight g4 anyway. Takes, takes. I'm going to play rook f8 and f takes g2 with check. I also have ideas of knight e2. I never have to worry about knight takes because f takes would again open the f file. This would be great. So king g6, bro played knight e4. I checked here, and mated. There's really only one takeaway from this game that I wanted to talk about. Whenever you have this four knights type of position here, you should always be looking at knight d4. It's a very, very tricky move. If they take this way, you head into a position very similar to bird's defense. Meanwhile, if they take this way, then there are always some tricks associated with this knight being vulnerable. Due to the specifics of this position here, our knight is actually relatively untouchable. They can't really attack it. Notice the file is closed. Meanwhile, the file against this knight is open. And a really nice benefit of us having our knight here is that they cannot, if we do attack the knight, for instance, after something like this, if we do attack the knight, they cannot defend it with their d-pawn. They cannot put the d-pawn on top of our knight here. Our knight serves as a great impediment to keep their knight on very shaky ground here. Analogously, actually, yeah, on an analogous level, by the way, you can play knight d5 in this position, and this is also very interesting.
Time to go!